What's going on, everybody? CaptainRoBear and crew here for Merrowstrand, episode 40. We're over the hill.
Whoa.
We made it.
I'm the same age as this show. I just gave it away, folks. I'm old.
Oh,
Now you know he's daddy.
all my fantasies.
Happy Tuesday, chat. We made it.
Didn't think I was going to make it.
Dude,
The
last
second
week,
trip
when we
to
played
the
on
basement.
Monday, my entire week was off. I didn't know what day was what. I was like, I was like, oh, it's the weekend tomorrow. It's Monday, and it's like, no, it's Sunday, and I'm like, what's happening?
Dude, I sat here at like noon going, where the hell's my D&D? Where's CaptainRoBear? I almost texted him like, hey, you gonna go live today or what? And then I saw no one in the chat, and I went, oh, you moron. Yesterday was Monday. It's Tuesday.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's why I said that in our group chat, because I was thoroughly screwed up. I was thoroughly messed up.
Ready for my Stormforge on a Tuesday. They just weren't ready to play it yet.
Oh, but baby, we're back. Meat's back on the
yeah.
menu, boys. And a all dudes episode of Merrowstrand. We'll be missing Ice this evening, who can't make
Mom's
it.
not here. Get to stay up all night and eat pizza. Let's go.
Yeah, they were making pizza bites in chat earlier. Definitely jealous of that.
I want pizza bites.
It's full beards tonight.
Full beards, half hearts, full farts.
Full farts. Lots of full farts.
Fully loaded.
Never trust the half fart.
Oh, yeah.
If it's still in there, it's got more with it.
There was one of those walking across the street at PAX East last week where I was like, shimmy, shimmy, shit. Oh. Danger, Will Robinson.
Going,
We all do the same thing too. It's just like full stop, cheeks together, eyes wide, like, oh no.
I don't
I
know.
will have to assess the damage and shuffle until I get there.
So people saw me
Wiggle,
walk
wiggle,
like
wiggle.
walk like I was a corgi across the street. That was me with my cheeks. Hey, I was
some
fine, but I
doors don't close that fast.
didn't know. I honestly, I couldn't tell. It was just
That's
a
a scary one too, where you're like, did it happen? Is this the time?
Did we do it?
it's like a wet slap bracelet. You just don't. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought.
Sometimes
Okay.
sometimes farts just got a little bit of sweat on it. You know, a little bit of sweat. You get confused. You don't know. Get a little confused.
That con sweat. Got a little of that con voodoo ranger sweat.
Yeah. Need some of that Robond.
Robot. You're welcome, chat. This is what you get.
Some of that
This
monkey
is what you
butt.
get when you get a neckbeard show.
Yeah.
Fart jokes.
Would have happened if Ice was here anyway, unfortunately.
It would have. She would have contributed and ruined all your guys' days. Girls are gross.
We're all gross.
That's
We're
the secret.
all gross.
That's the secret. So for some entertainment before we get into possibly someone's serious announcements, my father is back from Florida in my house and immediately started burning things again. I just sent a picture of my brother. I was like, he has found things to burn. I even organized where I was like, this is cardboard I put underneath my fryer. He should know this. He is also a country boy. He raised me. That is the cardboard I am going to use for later. But he is compelled in his pyromania to continue to burn everything inside the household.
Oh my gosh.
But what's really comical is our war over the thermostat immediately.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Oh, he goes into immediate dad mode.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not going to sweat. Like, I'm here because my office has no air conditioning. All of a sudden I start sweating and I realize he's changed the thermostat from 70 to 73. So I'm like, okay, old man, we'll play this game. Boom. Turn it down to 70. When I get up, I'm like, just like slightly, you're like, just a little off. And I'm like,
It
yep.
feels like it's 3 degrees warmer.
No, 70, 71. than 70. Like
We
he's
know we know
creeping
that.
by one where he thinks he's smart and can condition me. And like, I immediately know the difference. I'm like, no, if it's above 70, I'm going to start to be uncomfortable. And he doesn't run the fan. So it's just stagnant, nasty hot air.
Oh,
Yeah, he's just gross. He just
because the
Apartment
fan
complex.
uses energy.
Our fan only has one speed, and it's like turbo speed, so you can't like just have it running on a low air circulating speed. So I had to put like tower fans in so that we could actually have some air circulation going.
You just have turbines, Boeing.
That's the only option. If you turn the fan only mode on with the air conditioner, it's like
if he's cold, chat, he can go back to Florida. That's
I mean, yeah.
why I bought a trailer there.
You throw on a sweater. I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it's going to be. By the way, 70 is not some sort of crazy compromise, okay? This is not me.
Really is the average.
This is not me going, I don't live without being on 65. That was me in high school and college. Like, don't disturb me, 65. I only live in the basement. Like, don't come at me, bro. I'm so hot coming in from practice. Now that I live a sedentary lifestyle and only play D&D, it's okay. Like I haven't done any actual physical exertion. This is just natural me sitting there and sweating. Who's got big announcements they want to share with the folks before we get kicking?
I do finally, and I sent a piece of announcement info to you way too late, Rob, because I just
thinking I was going to put up your graphic while you send it to me in the intro. Comical. Comical.
Well, maybe he will, but regardless, I will announce. Finally, I could say next Thursday over at twitch.tv/MagicRPG. I am running a 3-part miniseries. I am DMing for the first time, God help me, a horror D&D 5e game.
Love it.
Creepy, spoopy, scary. And that starts next Thursday, April 11th. And it will be at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific. There we go. And yeah, it's a 5e miniseries. Some wonderful folks that are playing over there, and it's spoopy, horror themed, and I'm looking forward to tormenting people.
Are you doing a PC?
But I'm also terrified.
Are you doing a DMPC?
Maybe.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to share.
Who knows? The answer is no. That's too much. The answer is no. I don't know how Rob does that. It's too much. But he did share it. And also, that's an old picture, but it's the best picture I have. So I'm wearing glasses there. I don't wear glasses
your
anymore.
one from Tim's wedding is that's the best one that I know of.
That was a good
True. There's a couple. But yeah, there it is. Thank you. Rob did share it. I was like, oh God, I forgot to give this to him. I just received it. Panic. But yeah, so yeah, check it out. Probably announce it next week too, but they announced it today on their show that's happening or finishing up now. So anyway, I'm super excited. I'm super nervous to DM, but I'm also very excited. So yeah,
so good.
check it out.
I mean, the worst thing you can do is
people.
where you fail and you think about it at all times whenever you play D&D that it just didn't work out, I mean, that's the worst. You'll do fine.
Brutal.
You said 3 episodes?
Yeah, it's a mini series. It's a 3-parter that I put together. It's a homebrew world. I created the world. You will hear familiar places for Merrowstrand. There is some connectivity there. But definitely a different kind of, you could call it a different plane, I guess, or a different timeline, perhaps, something like that. So, but yeah, it's a homebrew world, that I created, and should be a good time. So yeah, swing by. I appreciate it. Support me.
Way to finally pop that cherry, dude.
Oh God.
And they do VODs on a YouTube channel too, right?
Yep.
Or is
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so they'll have it on YouTube. They'll have it if you're a subscriber, you can watch it on Twitch, but it'll be uploaded to YouTube. I'm really excited. I've run it a few other times, so I've gotten some practice in, and so far it's been pretty cool. So we'll see.
Love that, dude. Who else has got major announcements they want to let folks know about?
Got nothing.
Nothing. Well, I will say that you'll probably see Radio and I on stream together coming up in the month of April 1 for Destiny's Horde mode. I went and double checked. I couldn't even remember what my power level was. I'm not too far behind, 1798, so I'll be able to catch up.
It's gonna be a breeze for you, no problem.
I immediately changed out of the Witcher armor that I had that I bought that I never even literally played with. And I was like, yeah, I'm putting my Iron Banner armor back on again. But I did keep the chainmail mark, which is amazing. Love it.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah, excited to, oh man, I forgot how nasty my build was. So good. Just fuego everywhere. Nothing but fire.
You did fire build? Nice.
I've left it on there since the last whatever the last iteration we did. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna hop on the next season of Diablo where all the big changes are going down. That's not till May though.
Yeah, they pushed it back.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
it got pushed back a little bit. But like, what my fun Diablo news is this month, because it hit Game Pass, I am getting to sit down with my brother finally, because we never really got to properly sit down, and he's the one who set up my first Intel Pentium processor PC with Diablo 2.
Hyper threaded. Wow, that's
hey,
like
man,
2 cores in there.
that was a big deal because we had one family compact Presario at the time. So
was it it was the round boy with the white like bevel bubble front?
No, it was older than that.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, it did have a little bit of like it was bulbous. The bulbous front.
I'm pretty sure it's the same one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, man, that's wild days. But yeah, so we've been trying to figure out and find time, and we have a little bit on Friday, so I'm super excited. I want to see if he will play his old necromancer like he did back in the day. So I just want him to see the story. Like that's that's my goal for the month, is get him through so he can see the full story of Diablo. And yeah, that'd make me happy. I have no idea what I'm gonna play with him. I'll probably just play like a barb or something to stay alive. Or I may play my own druid just to try to remember it. What the hell I'm doing. Who knows? But
how do I play this?
God, dude.
Is this DLC or is this included with our existing license that we have? This update.
So it's like all the Diablo stuff. It comes, you play naturally, but if you want to get the progression, then you gotta pay for the
DLC
progression.
pony up. Okay.
But it's battle passed.
Yeah. That's what like all of the Diablo stuff is going to be. You're not going to actually have to pay for more stuff, but if you want to like get a little bit extra cosmetics and stuff like that, and
that's when you put
go faster.
Well, the good news is I put $100 bill in Diablo way back in the day, and I never bought any of the cosmetics. So
yeah.
I'm like, I gotta spend this money.
I've used my battle pass like for the last 2 seasons, and somehow I still have two battle passes to go. I'm like, is it just keep refreshing on itself, or I don't understand it. I'm not complaining.
And for folks that don't know, there's like
don't take it away.
There's actual new content. There's gonna be new story content that goes in. From everything I've seen, they said it's gonna play like a whole new game. So we love that. We love the pressure of Path of Exile and Last Epoch.
Oh God.
Competition is a beautiful thing, folks. Love it so much. Over here, plus points. This is our last month. I thought we had to do January, February, March, but they are not counting January. Good news is last month, or let's see here, on February, we did 143 plus points, and then we did 55 last month. So let's go. We're clear in the zone, but we need to get one more month of 100 points or more, and then it changes my sub split to 60-40. I get a 10% raise. So you get to turn Bezos upside down, shake those Bezos bucks out, all for free. So super excited. I have no doubt that the community will continue to trickle on through and make those subs a reality. Also, for all the hardcore folks that have went and changed their subs into tier 3s, thank you. That is a big reason why we went from about 103 plus points to 150. So thank you guys. Going above and beyond. Mucho appreciated. And once again, the link that Twitch posted, it goes nowhere for me. It does. It doesn't. It's hilarious. But I know where to go to actually look at the partner plus, or plus program points. So, yeah, I figured that out the hard way a long time ago. Yeah. So, by the way, there's a schedule that's out. It's going to be kind of comical because I don't think it really means anything past Stormforge happening tomorrow. Everybody is rearranging. It is a very, very busy week. And we started off with tornadoes at 4:30 in the morning and 12 over at my house. So it's been a little bit crazy. I will keep you guys posted. It looks like Galadron is going to move to like early Friday afternoon before I meet up with my brother and play Diablo. So I'll let you know I'm getting the last of their schedule in. And then I'm going to be watching WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. So, and I'm going to a ball and a whiskey tasting. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on, but we're going to try to get all the things in there. Rise of the Black Worm. I'll be honest. Those guys don't know it yet, but like, I don't know when they're going to complete their show because now I have stuff to do on Thursday. Hint, hint, why I have dropped redacted and made people click on that horrible spoiler tag that just led to more redacted.
I loved it.
That was my version of April Fool's right there. That was my, but yes, there is content coming on Thursday before Vecna Eve of Ruin. So hang tight. We're going to play D&D with some more new folks. Hopefully, if, you know, people really want to, they'll make it available on their schedule, but we'll see. It seems like everybody I contact is, I'm starting a 24/7 non-stoppable streamathon. Okay, you can just throw it up on your channel. Like it's, here's the link, you know? Thank God I don't have to do all that regular crap. Thank you guys for just showing up for D&D. I appreciate it. So you don't have to see me, I don't know, get up and make a grilled cheese sandwich in the middle of the night. Like,
Well,
nobody wants to see.
We want to see your Kermit cucumber.
Cucumber. Dude, it's just bad real world content. Like, it's ridiculous. That you're not going to see. You won't see gaming if it doesn't happen on my my Xbox for a while because the other PC is shot. And
no,
I just don't know how people game on the same PC. There's just crazy shit that happens. Like monitors are flashing, stuff's going off. Like I'm like, this is just bad news. When I do that, all I can think of is like, this thing's gonna burn to the ground. Like booting Destiny up while I had my regular setup. Things are flying around. Discord gets yeeted into the void. Like I can't do that. I can't. That's not for me. Two PC setup or bust on that. I guess if there's something oh yeah, if I needed to, I could just set my laptop here in front and game off of it and do the radio way if I needed to. But
no one wants to do that.
Radio doesn't want to do that anymore. That's why he doesn't anymore.
No, never again. Unless I really have to.
If I had to. Luckily, I don't have to. Yeah. We need to pick up where we left off last session. Vanquishing the Yonti abomination from the swamp. You guys find yourselves in a very, very magical spot inside this great tree. A small ceremony that has led to a very large revelation, connecting with an old god of the swamp. You guys have freed heart of Bog Halla from the grips of Grimfiler. Most importantly, you've done it in the quarter of the swamp where the resistance has been hiding. A new champion has joined the fold. Someone from far out in the multiverse. Damien has now joined your party. A Yuan-Ti, the last of his tribe. But more importantly, we pick back up with what's happening with the runes around Christian Geller. Christian, as those scales begin to appear on your body, what else happens during this transition?
Because Christian's knelt there, and I think Tarben's still nearby, and you saw the hand that was reached out that was covered in this like the white scales, and you see the claws kind of protrude from that hand. I think you begin to see this light. You kind of feel the static electricity in the air, but then you kind of start to see from underneath the cracks in the armor and underneath the helmet, this kind of radiant light kind of start to pour out from Christian, and almost like the white of the skin and the scales begins to almost change and evolve and adapt, almost like a canvas that was there in front, a white pure canvas that now is being a new craft, a new art piece created. And you begin to see kind of creeping down and kind of transforming across his hands these bronze scales with these like hints of blue, and you see like lines of gold amongst the scale cracks in between as again you see this kind of radiant light kind of start to pour, and as he kind of kneels, you see him reach up and he takes off the helmet, and as before what you saw was hair, you see just start to kind of fall away as his hair begins to just fall off of his head, and you see his head begin to kind of enlarge and elongate as you see these visceral horns begin to pour back from the front towards the back of his head. And again, what you saw before, which was this like tan worn skin, becomes this brass, blue and gold scales, and you see his stature almost grow a little bit in size as he kneels, and he's just stoic. He is face down, he is unmoving as this blinding light just kind of encapsulate him and gets brighter and brighter and brighter in the space. And in this moment, there is an intensity of this ancient presence, this draconic aura that is just pouring out into the entire vicinity. You can't help but to sit there and feel like you were at the base of a mountain staring in its awe. In this brief moment, as this light begins to get brighter and brighter and brighter until almost you have to shield your eyes because you can't see easily. You can't see what's going on. Tarben, you're standing right next to him, and all it is just this blinding radiant light until the light goes out and the color of the room comes back in, and you see Christian kneeling there, no longer human, but changed, evolved, given a boon, ascended. As he raises his head up and looks back, his eyes open, and you can see this burning, radiant golden light come from his eyes.
Oh my God, Christian!
Kind of looks around, shakes his head a bit. He looks down at his hand, and then he touches his face.
Are you okay?
It's happened.
What's happened?
He just looks up. Thank you for seeing me. I will stay the course. And he just smiles.
Krak immediately is distrustful, and he points the crossbow right at this new thing. You bring Mr. Dean back, and you bring him back right now.
Think you can lower that, Krak? That is Mr. Tien.
No, you're not fooling me this time. No.
He's tapped the power inside of him and evolved.
So you're like okay? You feel okay? You're not. You're a little. What is going on? Why is Tarben? How are you calm about this?
It's maybe something Christian needs to explain more so than me.
He stands up and for a moment falters and kind of like leans and lands on your shoulder, Tarben, and kind of catches himself for a second before he kind of uses. You can see he kind of pushes off, but like holds his hand for a second on your shoulder to steady himself. And he is taller. He is broader. There's more to him. You feel a different kind of weight. Whereas before there was almost like a dexterous nature in some of the ways that he moved and it was almost poetic. And now you feel like there's this like innate raw strength that just kind of eludes from him as he kind of like stands for a second, arm on shoulder, before he turns and he looks at the group. It's happened. And he smiles. This is the first step towards ascension. I've been tasked with a purpose, a mission. We completed that. Roshan witnessed me and deemed it necessary and felt I was worthy. This is the first step towards my goal. And he just kind of, again, like looks down at his hand, this new clawed, dragon scaled hand. And for all of you, you see full blown a dragonborn standing in front of you, completely changed. The eyes, again, different, but you see the familiarity. But where you saw the power, you see these vibrant, radiant eyes staring back at you. And at the very center slit of the eyes, you can still see a little bit of that blue, familiar lightning kind of sparking through.
It is you.
It is.
You said this. You said step one. So there's going to be more of this. You're going to change more.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It is what Roshan deems I go through. Ascension is not something easily earned. I've been doing this path for my entire life. And it wasn't until now that I felt their gaze.
Good luck trying to get that helmet back on that dome. Markos will walk over towards Christian and extend his hand.
As he goes and he does like the military, like grasps your, like right at the wrist, and he kind of grasps it. You think the helmet's hard. What do you think is going to be with these? And he kind of like flexes, and you see these draconic wings kind of burst out.
You got
but
wings?
where you thought at first that it was going to be these physical wings, and he kind of he almost like this innate, I can feel it, like they're there and they need to go out. Instead, familiar, but you see these kind of radiant, like almost like spectral wings that just kind of like bamf out from his back and then sit there and then lightly glow as he kind of just briefly like raises up off the ground, kind of floats there for a second before he lands back down. Oh, I guess they're a little different. And he kind of dismisses them and they kind of just vanish.
Does everybody get this that follows Ulrashan? Is this like is this just like a welcome gift, or like I'm not saying like I like being a frog, but I can go for being like a spiked toad. Like I could go for a winged spiked toad. I'm not opposed to it.
No.
Oh.
Not everyone gets this.
Now I get to be the brooding one with the dragon helmet, as I'll pull down my brine dragon helmet over the top of mine. It will take some time getting used to, no?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I lean over to Krak. I think he actually kind of looks kind of better this way.
I mean, green guys gotta stick together.
That's what I was thinking. I like the new reptilian look.
Guess I'm really a part of the zoo now, huh?
I'm sorry. Did you hear us? Yes. Yeah. You. I mean, like you literally are no longer the zookeeper. You are the main attraction, I guess. I don't like.
Oh, you were speaking?
I imagine Akiko would have her hands on her hips and mutter something to the fact that she has to deal with this form of you now. There's definitely some eyes rolling and some exhausted breaths.
I mean, I don't know. It kind of makes him fit better with us, Akiko. Now he's actually like one of our crazy like animorph characters of ours now.
He was always an animal.
Well, I mean, but now he looks the part at least.
I think even Pal is gonna give a little gator a hiss now that he sees there's another big lizard that's around. Until he realizes, his brain's a little bit smoother. It takes him a minute. Even Dijon on his back kind of gives you beady eyes, looks across.
Christian would walk over to Pal, and he'd kind of kneel down. And he'd just kind of like stick his hand out, almost like a dog, like smelling, but he'd stick it towards like his snout, and just kind of like let him assess for a bit, and he kind of would lean that draconic familiar presence, although a bit stronger now. There is a stronger aura about him that you feel than what you did beforehand. You feel a little bit more emboldened when you're around Christian now, and he kind of holds it out, and then eventually kind of like pats the snout, and he kind of leans in and just whispers, "You're still the cute one."
He takes his kraken tail and it morphs into the kraken arm and just kind of wraps around on it a little bit.
And he just kind of nods, and he gets back up, and this is years and years of effort and commitment and practice realized. And it will be years and years more before I can see the peak. But this is a rarity, to be directly given this boon and blessing and transformation.
The man has fought the bronze dragon himself. He deserves to have the power of that dragon behind him. I look forward to seeing your new prowess on the field.
Me as well.
Also, I would just like to put in a request now. I would like to go flying whenever you're ready to try out your wings. If you just want to carry me like a sweet little baby and we can just go fly around the swamp, I'm down whenever you want. It's just an offer. I'm putting it out there. It looked really cool.
You want me to take you flying?
Yeah.
Come on.
Now?
Yeah.
Jumps. Uppies.
And just because we're here and we have a brief amount of downtime, you'll see again those spectral rings kind of like bamf out, and he will lift you up and he will fly around.
Have
with
you ever seen a frog being carried by a bird? It's like the saddest thing. They're just these long arms just kind of dangling down, and that is Bud flying through the air right now.
Yeah.
It's that UAP that they've seen in the war zone that looks like it's a jellyfish. That's what it. Frog drone.
So cool. It's just got floppy arms, just kind of flying through the air.
As you guys buzz around inside of the great tree and come back down, that unique perspective from up above, you're able to see that last bit of blood runes coalesce into an object, Christian, that's laying down below on this disc. And as the blood begins to course through and make this item whole, it is a smaller version of your Roka sword, but one that is adorned with these dragon wings at its hilt. As you lean down and pick up your Holy Avenger from Ulrashan, it is a +3 longsword. It can be swung with 2 hands, versatile, but it is made to be paired with your shield as well. It does the additional 2d10 of damage, but it doesn't do it against fiends or ghosts. Your additional damage is applied to rare and legendary creatures.
Ooh.
Inside of our game, rares are pumped up super creatures, and legendaries are our bosses. Based off of Ulrashan and your own innate oath of going after those who abuse power the most, you are also able to choose what you want your damage type to be when you invoke it. You can do a mixture of both lightning and radiant, or lightning or radiant. It is your choice.
Freaking dope.
Now,
Freaking dope.
when you use this Holy Avenger from Ulrashan, you will want to roll with the left alt. Rolling with left alt will give you the ability to roll versatile and to do all of the things. So I will give you an example of said roll and what it looks like. All right.
Ooh.
So
Look at it. It looked so cool.
the audience can't see the choices, but there are attack, damage, versatile, and other formula. So if you swing with 2 hands, that is the versatile damage. The other formula is yours against legendary creatures. So you would do your attack like normal, and then as far as damage, if you were swinging with 2 hands, you would click good old versatile, and if it is a rare or legendary creature, you get to click other formula.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
That is sweet.
We love it.
That is freaking dope.
But you can do quick rolls if it's just you're rocking with 1 hand and it's not a big deal. You can still do that game if you want to. So the shift and control still work in that, and it still displays your other damage that's there as well. So now you have all the tools.
Oh, that's so cool. As you see this like blood kind of formulate into this like kind of shape of the sword as it begins to like solidify, and he kind of lands and sets by the side. He kind of like walks over and he kind of like looks at it for a moment, and then places the hilt, his hand on the hilt of the sword as it kind of like formulates up off of the ground. And as he does, you hear this like quick thunderous like clap, and this flash of radiant and lightning like burst, and where there once was like this blood outline, the sword kind of manifests true as he lifts it up, and you see it kind of ignite in this like radiant blue electrical energy up and down the sword as he kind of holds it up. In your name, it will be done. And you see him extinguish it, and then he just places it at a side. Well, I'm more confident about what's ahead of us now.
Indeed. Many new gifts. And we will need them because we have only cleansed 25% of this swamp. We still have much work to do.
Oh yeah, that's right. We really have only just like started peeling this onion back, haven't we?
Good news is we've got new gifts and new friends to help us along the way.
Yeah, and like a whole new friend. Do you feel different? Or do you feel the same kind of brooding way, or because I don't know. I get that you just picked me up to fly me around, so I get the sense that you're not the same Christian.
I was actually talking about Damien.
What do you mean, who's Christian?
I'm fucking with you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Even I
Okay.
can't be down on a day such as this. This is history.
Yeah. This is like a big moment.
One
It's,
can only suggest that Nagashar has brought great gifts back to this plane again. Opening up connections to where there once was not. This is good to see. These are all good omens.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now, as I have said before, we are moving our NPCs into deck building. Earl, being a part of your party, will give a guidance and a resistance die for everyone inside the party while you are navigating the swamp. So you're able to have an additional D4 at any point in time navigating or making saving throws. So abilities, skill checks, and saving throws will all have an additional D4 thanks to Earl being in your party. Dylan, being an Onion Knight, is a wild card. There will be a roll that is made whenever you guys are in a scenario and you want to tap Dylan for this. So if you guys are in combat, Dylan is essentially like a deck building card. You guys will convoke it, I will make the roll, and you will get one effect from the Onion Knight.
One per combat or one per round?
No, it's one per. He's like a one use card.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
But he can be. He's a one use in any scenario. So it's in either in combat or out of combat. The Onion Knight card can be played as an expertise, and it is followed with his connection to the Fae. So it's kind of a two-part at that point. So it gets rolled. You don't know what you're gonna get out of Dylan. But yeah, I have made a Onion Knight table.
Okay. So that's like a one per episode type of thing, is what the way, like a way to think about it.
No, it's a one per scenario type of deal.
Okay.
Dylan is a card that you can use out of combat, or you can use in combat. So at most you would convoke him twice during an episode. Right. Damien, you guys don't know yet.
That tracks.
And then is Markos still going to be your
Markos
player,
is still my DMPC.
Okay.
But yes, all of NPCs that go in and out of the party will become a deck building bonus like that.
I poke the duck. What do you do? What's your card?
It farts.
And if they do something reliable, like where there's Dylan, there is a chance for Dylan to go into the stream loots pool with particular effects.
Well, snap.
We're going to look to see how we integrate that over the terms. But yes, this should help clear up our order and help me from having to throw 19 spears and arrows.
That would be pretty cool though. It's like invoke, it's like, oh, I'm gonna use Dylan the Onion Knight to add 5d6 sneak attack to this one roll or something. It's
exactly.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
It's so it integrates with you and what you're doing. So then you can kind of get a little bit of inspiration, Marvel versus Capcom, of the combos of bringing people in and out. Like, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, use the Onion Knight card, and then you're able to tell of like this cool combo that you and Dylan do. And
right.
You get to have fun with it.
What was the resistance die? You said a resistance.
So guidance and resistance. Guidance helps with skill checks. Resistance helps with saving throws. So it's a.
Gotcha. But ultimately, it results in that +4.
Yeah.
It's plus D4.
It's an out of combat bless, is what it is.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Dope.
I'm schizophrenic all the time, Bass. What are you talking about? That's every RPG that we run over here.
Okay, well that was a lot. Thank you, all Rashawn. I don't know if you can still hear me or if you're still here, but our friend really appreciates it. That was quite the big boon of a gift you gave him. So thank you for that. You wouldn't happen to know where the resistance is, do you? And I'll listen to see if all Rashawn responds to me. Okay.
You know what, bud? Roll a percentile die.
I'll do that.
What's the number, Christian?
Yeah, right as rain. What is it? 1 through whatever your number is or whatever. It's the normal one. 1 through your level or whatever it is.
No, he's saying what would be the magic number if I'm rolling 1 out of 100. What would be the magic number to hit?
Oh, 69.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh,
so close.
I don't think your god likes frogs that much.
Maybe you should ask the tree.
I think maybe you should. And he kind of walks over to you. Bud, you should. You're from this place. You should try and commune.
I don't I like to joke about it. I don't know if I really like to actually really do it. I haven't really. How do
I
you
understand that Nagashaw has been absent from this place for some time. They are one that you can trust. I hope that I can prove that to you over time.
That's not even a matter of trust as much as it's like I don't even know. What, do I just like say, hey, can you help me? I mean, what?
That's a start. You want me to show you?
Just kind of pauses. Is it gonna hurt?
No, it's simple.
Okay.
Come here.
Okay.
I'll show you. And he'll go past to the right where the tree kind of like coalesces into the ground, and you see like instead of it being on the platform, you see like the connection to like the clay and the mud and the sand there at the roots. Take a seat.
And he just kind of just sits down, like looks like he's getting ready to make it. Just kind of plops down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You place your hands in the soil of the swamp where the roots meet.
Yeah, where all the nutrients come from.
Yes.
Okay.
And you close your eyes. Focus on that feeling. Focus on your history. Focus on growing up, your family, your own roots connected to this place. Focus on the happy. Focus on the sad. Focus on those moments that made you angry. Everything that connects you to this place. And when you feel that connection and you work through it, open yourself to the possibility of anything.
I don't like thinking about the sad. That's a very
But they know. They always know. And it's a part of you. It's helped shape who you are today. As painful as it might be, it's important. This is your home. You're here to save it. You need only be open to the extraordinary.
But I want you to roll in your case, this would be your investigation. Do so with advantage as Christian is guiding you through this ceremony.
For sake, I am casting ceremony and choosing dedication and giving him that guidance to have that dedication, not to Olroshan, but to whomever. So that's just guiding you through it.
Right now, I would assume since Bud isn't trying to convoke anyone, he's just trying to reach out to the swamp and home.
Yeah.
It's like in his mind, it starts with this empirical understanding of how the swamp works, how life circulates in the swamp, how it feeds itself, and that system, that that circular system. But as like you're talking to him and his little webbed fingers are dug into the ground, he can feel that there is something else there that he hasn't really ever noticed or picked up on before. I don't know. I feel like I think I feel what you're saying. I think I can see this connectedness. Not see it. His eyes are closed. But like I can.
But with a 30,
hear it?
There's a blink and a second blink. And then, Christian, you see his eyes become solid gold as the pupils disappear. As Bud, your eyes drift. As if looking out over at the swamp from up above for the first time. Seeing the parts of it ripple away and literally purified before your eyes. But yet so much hanging toxicity that has spanned so much further out than even Boghala rests. This short bit of commune has opened your eyes in a way you never thought that you could see before. And in this short moment, this connection to the divine has given you another tool in your tool set of investigating the world. Christian, you have properly taught Bud the ceremony spell. It is on your sheet now, Bud. It is a ritual cast, of which I am very open to multiple interpretations on the ritual side and what your goals are that you want to achieve with it. Right now, during this experience, both of you will receive a 1d10 swamp inspiration. This inspiration is innate and can be used with sharpshooter or great weapon master. Treat it just like a bardic inspiration.
You see, like this floating imagery that you described, you know, when he focuses in on that toxicity, I feel like is where his focus really goes to. You know, he sees this area that they've cleansed, that they've pushed this angst back, but he sees that kind of that border, and his eyes just kind of focus in on those spots, and it feels oppressive. Like if he looks at it even for too long, it feels like something's watching him. And that's the moment that he snaps out of it. When he feels like something else is observing him in that space, that's when he comes to. Okay, that was weird. I've never connected to the swamp like that before. That's just something that you can just do?
No, that's something you can do. And you did. Every great path starts with a step. And you just took one.
Wow. I mean, thank you for helping me through that. That was, I don't know, I feel I feel very weirdly connected, but also I can't shake the feeling that there was something else watching me there. Like I was seeing all sorts of stuff in that moment. I don't know if I'm probably sound like a crazy person right now, but I was seeing this area, this blessed area that we just created. But I also saw some of that dark space from the Grimfile, and that, I don't know, it felt like it could see me. Does that sound normal?
It could have been Grimfiler. It could have been anything. But I think it was probably the swamp. And he just kind of glances towards Damien and gives a nod. You have
Smile
a connection
underneath
here.
that headdress.
You have roots. You have a history. What is a god but the history of the people invoking their name? It's a small step, but I'm proud.
And I really wish I would have paid a little bit more attention when they were talking about Nagasha. I really, all I have is just little child stories. I feel like I know there's a lot more history there.
You can pay attention now, and I bet you'd have a very good teacher.
I'd like to learn more, Damien. But not, I mean, not like right now, but just like I know that I'm going to be observing.
Can't you hear them? Damien will kind of steward you back towards the opening of the great tree. And this light rain that has washed back over the swamp. Can't you hear it? And you can hear the bullfrogs bellowing with the thunder. Almost reverberating as strong as Pal does, but it's sweeping over the entire swamp. It's time for you to go on your own journey. Reconnecting with home. Piece by piece.
Yeah. This place has a lot of memories. Some good, a lot of them not so good, but it is still home.
This will be like opening your eyes for the first time. I promise you.
I'm feeling this eye open business. That was a wild experience just back there.
Not everything is the physical that lays before you, Investigator.
Yeah, that's starting to become more and more real than I really ever imagined. How am I supposed to learn about things that don't make sense? You know, that's I'm struggling with this, right? Even just right now talking with you about it. You're from another plane of I don't know where. You just erupted out of blood, and I don't know how that works. I'd love to know how that works, but I don't even know if it matters how it works. And I don't know. It's a lot for my small little frog brain to process at the moment.
It is about talking less and listening more.
Hard.
He sits down on one of the stumps. Kind of sits back up awkwardly. Pulls a large jug out from underneath it.
That
The
definitely helps
swamp
me
brings
commute.
gifts already. No, that ain't the swamp's gift. That's certainly mine. I put them all over the swamp. I was looking for that one. I couldn't find it. In particular, that one's persimmons. It's going to have a hell of a kick. Little sour. I put some sea salt in it, and I gathered. As Damien looks back over to you, like I
that
said,
still
less.
actually makes it a swamp gift, even if it is coming from him.
Let's talk. More drink. As the
I'll take a
three
big
of
old
them.
swig out of my frog lip cup.
I have one more thing, if I could.
Yes. No.
So, okay.
We're done with RP.
So, Christian walks back over to the center where his helmet sits, and he kind of picks it up, and it's far too small for his head. But he kind of looks at it, and he kind of looks at Tarben, and he looks over at Krak. He just closes his eyes for a moment, and he smiles and he nods. He walks over to Krak. Krak, I have a job for you. If you're up for it.
Okay.
Kind of kneels down. I felt a push. Old Roshan. Well, I think he appreciates the friendship and kinship of a warrior, fellow to himself. Kind of glances over at Tarben. So, kind of holds up his helmet. I can't wear this anymore. Nor do I need to. It's time I stop hiding behind the helmet. For now, I've embraced it. I need you to melt this down and make knuckles worthy of a titan to fit on Tarben's paws.
Oh,
And once it's complete, I'll bless it. Can you do that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, even with the help of Tarben, I can fasten this to them. But I think I can make this pretty cool.
Get his input. Get his craft. Because an object like this connects to the soul. He hands you the helmet.
It's
I
like
know you'll
Krak,
do
like,
work.
He like looks it over and kind of looks at the size, and then like you see him hold it up, so it's like in between. You know, it's blocking the vision of Tarben, and then he brings it down again, and he blocks it up, and Krak holds his own hand in there and looks at Tarben's hand and is like, you know, this thing's like as big as one of his hands, right?
Yeah,
I have to
that's
make
why
two
you're gonna
knuckles?
build a set of knuckles for him.
Okay.
I believe in you.
I think I can build something based on my knowledge of like taking blood from Tarben, getting Tarben's blood on me, just in a day-to-day sense. I think we can build something really cool for him that kind of like utilizes that and helps him in some way. Yeah. He's like trailing off every sentence to like, he's just thinking.
He's just running. I can see his little mind just like working through the problem.
Yeah, it's like he'll like get an idea, and they're like, no, I have to go this way, and you know, it's like one of those things where you like, if you've ever met somebody who's like a true engineer at heart, where they just stare at the world, and every little thing is something they can fix, something they can improve, and then they're just always calculating. Like you finally see this like of Krak, where he's just like,
Oh yeah, and then he's like doing calculations in his head.
When you're done.
He just kind of like doesn't really waddle off. It doesn't really like. He just suddenly he is. You discover that he's a separate part of the conversation. It's like one of those things where like you're in a group of people and naturally one of them just somehow manages to like drift off.
Yeah, been there, done that. When you're done and you've worked with him on it, come find me.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you later.
He just kind of gets up and nods.
Anyone else doing anything inside of the great tree?
And then over there, that's where I caught my first catfish, actually. And I'm talking to Damien on the stump outside, reminiscing about old things that have happened.
Talking, more listening.
Each cup of hooch.
You guys all find a comfy spot inside the great tree. Now blessed not only by Nagashaw, but gifts from Ulrashan. You guys find comfortable spots between the moss and the vines to curl up and take probably the least anxiety-filled sleep that you've had in a long time. Just getting to listen to the storm roll in the distance.
Before going to bed, I would have put a couple of resistance symbols around the entrance of the stump and maybe in the surrounding area. I know there was one that we had found at the like on the way to this area.
The first moment that Damien would see you attempting to put down a marker at all,
it's a very drunken, muddy foot that I'm trying to just stick up onto a wall.
this is one place, my little friend, where you do not have to worry.
I wasn't about worried. I was actually more trying to let them know that it's okay to come in.
I think it is time for rest.
I also agree.
Come. As he kind of points up to the great tree, and you see part of it literally moving. Like there is a worm underneath the sand or a small doggo underneath a blanket. You can literally see Nagashaw move through the bark of this tree.
Yeah, it's definitely time for sleep for sure.
Come.
Right, because you know, yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna go.
Earl, whose body is completely sunk into the stump, he's that classic like frog laying there on the park bench. The rain is just hitting on top of his forehead. His luscious frog mullet, which we've never really got to talk about before, because he's got one.
Oh, he definitely has one.
He has a very greasy Dominic Mysterio style mullet that goes across, and he's just laying there letting the raindrops hit across the top of his forehead, the jug down to the very little. Damien actually picks up his body. Oh man, it don't get any better than this. He just lays there, frog limp in his hands, The jug just slides back down. It hits the water like a bobber with about a quarter of it left in there. I'm going to remember that stump. And Damien only makes it a couple of steps inside before Dylan walks up. Don't worry, I got him. I got him. I got the big guy. Z hands him off. All right. I got a little hammock set up over here just for you. Oh, hell. I don't always get like, don't worry. We all have our moments. I mean, I can tell you when I finished off the last boss, almost single-handedly, as it kind of trails off as Dylan sings him sweet nothings of his impending successes.
I would imagine like Pal has found whatever warmth he can around Tarben and has just made his way to trying to steal that warmth. And when Bud comes back in after seeing what he thought was Nagasha making his way up the tree, he's just gonna go find Pal and just add to this cuddle puddle of warmth wherever Tarben is at. I'm ready for sleeping now, and just fall onto Pal. Just slowly get closer and closer to Tarben.
I'm tucked in that main route where you were commuting earlier, and just kind of watching you makes me smile. And as you tuck in, I just put a bare arm around you and pull you up underneath, and then do the same to Pal on the other side.
Remind me to tell you about the Nagasha I saw going up the tree a little bit ago.
All right, friend, I saw it too.
Even little Dijon settles in, shakes its little duck butt before it does its final sit, nestled into Pal's back.
Like right between the eyes of Pal. It's just like right on the top of his head.
Like a derby helmet. As you all drift into dreamland, you guys will all ascend to level 10.
Yo, what? Sweepy time levels, let's go. Heckin' yeah.
We did it.
Double digits, baby.
Just where the fun really begins.
All right.
By fun, I mean he tries harder to kill us.
Yeah, level 12 combat.
It's not level 12 combat.
Oh, I get a feat at this level.
See, I do too.
Me too. I get an ability score improvement. Thank you, Rogue. Where is this?
As sleep takes you, Krak, I need a flat D20 roll out of you.
Ooh, okay. $11.
There has been a lot of talk of reconnecting with home and what that means for Bud. But this last request, this commission, from Christian to you has got you thinking about home. And what it was like artificing for the tribe. I want you to recall the last experience of you creating something either for the tribe that they knew of, or while you were clandestinely working on your craft for yourself. Your choice.
So, Krak loved to hide things. He loved to squander away. And in the tribe, possessions were essentially outlawed. What was yours was the tribe's. And one of the very recurring crimes that Krak would commit was he was caught with things. He was caught hoarding. And so he learned to make stashes and hideaways and lock boxes. And one of the last things he created
Did we freeze? Yeah, we froze. We're still recording locally, though. Let's see if we reconnect. Ooh, we have lost the interwebs. Well, well, well. Internet is very down. And we are frozen in place. So I think this will be a good time to properly shut down this part of the VOD. So if we're able to get the internet back, then we will continue and I will splice this video together. But if not, I guess this is where we might end. Much love, everybody.